Evening, all. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to this show. Weekend preview. Football is back this weekend. It's a big one as we look to count down the last few weekends of this mental season, which I hope doesn't have a bit of an anticlimax. Martin probably hopes it does. Big up to everybody that's here. Make sure you do me a favor and smash a like and subscribe if you are new. And make sure you come and follow all of these guys as well. We got Judge Mo joining a little bit later and also Dan United joining as well to talk about the big game at Old Trafford. Mo will just come in and talk his usual stuff that he normally does and probably argue with Martin quite a bit. We're going to talk about Fulham and Manchester City. Big up to Martin from Mancunian Way. And of course, big up to Emilio from Cottage Talk. Emilio, how are you, sir?
Yeah, not too bad. Yeah, actually the sun's out. It's, it feels like spring finally. Big game tomorrow. Looking forward to, disrupting some people's title challenge, to be honest. So, look, we've got nothing to play for and nothing to worry about. So I think we can go out there, play with a bit of pride, and you never know, we might surprise a few people. So, but yeah, I'm looking forward to the game. It's lunchtime kickoff. So,
please, I hope you can, please.
I hope so.
Please,
country needs a new set of champions. Yeah, I think we need, being a neutral here, we want another team to win the league. So, no, we'll do our best to spoil the Mancunians' party tomorrow. So, fingers crossed there.
I pray. Martin, what are you saying, bro? How you feeling?
Well, he's got it right. It's definitely sunny because it's kite flying season, isn't it?
Oh!
Exactly what Fulham will be doing tomorrow is flying kites when City and Cole come there and upset. Well, upset.
I could not believe that when I saw that kite flying thing. I thought that is just not what I want to see.
A bit of trivia.
Oh, dear me. Anyway.
Apparently, then they had a bit of a FIFA 24 tournament as well afterwards, and then they went to Nando's.
Well, listen, hopefully they're FIFA'd out, Nando's out, and kited out, and they're ready and relaxed for what is going to be a game I'm going to tune in for tomorrow. So we're going to talk about that. Big up to Tom on the channel finally, man. It's been a long time coming, bro. How are you, man?
I'm all good. I'm glad for once to not have the stress of a title race, especially against City, because it is the most fruitless endeavour you could have going. There's a reason why everyone's going, oh, what are Fulham going to do? I'm going. Now, I remember when I had... a couple of years ago, Wolves away. I had earmarked for months, and then City smashed them 5-1. And I went, yeah, it's not happening, is it? Pack it all in now.
Similarly, that happened this season, mate, as well. A lot of people earmarked Wolves. Then it was Forest, and it's just like, do you know what?
I've always had Fulham.
Well, it has for most teams. I've always had Fulham, I must say. Fulham is the only one that I look at. Man City are going to pummel Spurs. They're going to pummel West Ham. It's going to be embarrassing for both of those. And both of those clubs are going to be more than happy to let them pummel them because they can't stand Arsenal. Fulham, my last roll of the dice. I pray, my only hope, that Leno as an ex-Gooner, Iwobi as an ex-Gooner, Willian as an ex-Gooner, please, make sure that
Fulham turns up.
Just a thing.
That's the thing. It depends what team what comes out, Dan. I think that's the thing. So, I've said it before. If we can sort out that consistency, look at that. Bernd Leno, I think, has got the second most clean sheets in the Premier League. Yet we're mid-table, so that shows that this team's gone a long way. And again, if we can sort out that consistency, not lose as many games, convert some of those losses into draws and some of those draws into wins, we'd be probably top 7, top 8. So on the day, we can beat the big teams. That's a different issue. We've got less points, but we're more competitive against the likes of Liverpool, Arsenal, Tottenham, Brighton, the teams that's technically above us. On the day, we can give these teams a run for their money. That's why tomorrow, it depends what team wakes up tomorrow. What team comes on the pitch at midday? Yes, people are saying Fulham are on the beach, but we want to spoil the party. We're not there just to make up the numbers. We want to make it difficult for Man City. So if we play it on a good day, we'll make it difficult. I know, Martin, you might be laughing here, but
no, I'm not laughing at that. It's the fact you said about the Fulham have done well against the big teams, and the other said you went Liverpool and Arsenal like they were sort of mid-table. I love the way you did it.
Tottenham, not to be sniffed. Now, we've had some good victories. Man United away, we've gone to Man United away. I know you've got to go there down this weekend, but this is a team that's progressed. We're never going to be the likes of Arsenal, Man City, Liverpool, and so forth. But so to get to consistently mid-table the last 2 seasons, giving bigger teams a run for their money, surviving in the Premier League, I don't think we get enough credit for that. We're never going to aspire to be a top 3, top 4 team. And the likes of Lawless and Billy keep claiming, good luck to them. They want to play I'll leave them to fight their battles. But we're small Fulham, no pressure. But I want to spoil the party tomorrow. So again, I'm going to go there, hoping that they're not on the beach, turn up as they've done against some of the so-called bigger teams, Martin, and make it difficult for Man City. That's the key thing. Make it difficult. Don't concede early. And funnier things have happened in football. Trust me. Funnier things have happened.
You're right. Funnier things have happened, and I'm really, really praying onto it now, man.
Nothing to lose.
No, absolutely, man. Martin, I spoke to you a few weeks ago, and I said I don't think you'll drop another point. I still stand by that. And I said if there's any game, and you picked this one out a few weeks ago. I don't know why. Something told you that this one could be the one. Do you still feel that way, or are you confident going into tomorrow, bruv?
I've always said this will be the weekend that the title's won or lost for me. Always has been. On a rare occasion, we play first, which means we can put pressure on you boys. And generally, when we play first and put the pressure on you, that's when you've been exposed a little bit. Your boys don't seem to be handling the pressure back the other way. And that's I don't know why. I do not know why. It's a weird situation. It happened last season. Remember, we went to Everton and we played, I think it was the Saturday night, and we beat them 3-0. And then you had Brighton the next day. And you just, I don't know. I don't know whether it's a mental block of, when you get with a team, it's like, Tom will know all about this. It is, when you see City just win. At some point you go, it doesn't matter what we do. Doesn't matter what we do or how we perform. Once it's out of their hands, there's that smell of inevitability about it.
The only thing you do is just wonder if they do drop points and we have decided to pack it in now and kick ourselves. But City never drop the points to make you rue that decision.
That's the weird thing. And listen, I do think tomorrow's going to be harder than Tottenham away. I really do. It's a small pitch. It's Fulham are a good team. I think Marco Silva's a better tactical manager than Ange, which I wasn't saying at the start of the season. Ange has just made himself look totally inept tactically at the moment. But I think Marco Silva's, I do like Fulham. They play some nice football. It will be tricky, but I just, in my heart of hearts, if Fulham play at the best and City play at the best, City win.
Yeah.
It's just, it's going to sound so disrespectful. I don't mean it in this way. It's what City turn up tomorrow. It's what City turn up. Do they want it or do they not? And that's what. And generally, you'll know that in the first 15 minutes. If City score early, it's going to be a long afternoon at that point, because then you could be going into 4 and 5s.
That's what I'm worried about. It's like not conceding early, stay in it for the first half hour.
20 minutes and it's still 0-0. That's when, if you look at City, that's religiously what we do. That first 20, 25 minutes, if we've not scored, that's when we start getting a bit nervous. We start playing a bit of a pass that we don't normally do. It's very weird this season, the way we've done it. And that's what, because I've disagreed with this all season, why I don't think we've looked bad, but we're not actually bad. It's because for the first time in a while, we have got a bit edgy after 20, 25 minutes. I don't know why. I can't put my finger on that. But in the last 3 games, we've changed the system, which is mad. I've never known a manager change his tactics 3-4 games before the end of a season in a title race. Pep just goes, change. We've gone into 3-5-2 with a double pivot and the 2 10s and the overlapping fullbacks, which just makes us look so more balanced. We're conceding less chances, we're conceding less goals, and we're now putting the ball in the other way. We're putting 4 and 5s in most games at the minute. So, to me, that's why it is tomorrow, because I think if we win, you talk about our run at Tottenham, your run at Old Trafford is not great, 2016. And the thing is with United, they can be as crap as you want them to be, United. But for some weird reason, I don't know why they turn up in the big games. As Tom, not trying to give Tom the flashbacks, they turn up. I don't know why they do it. It's this thing with United, like, oh, it's a big team today, let's turn up. United have gone into the way we were 20 years ago. And that's probably why I'm looking at it more, because I'm seeing exact replicas to the way City were 20 years ago. Turn up against the big teams and lose against the lower teams.
I wouldn't even say United really turn up, though, because we should have won every single game we played against them this year. But we are idiots, and we have Donkey and Puss in Boots from Shrek leading our front line, so they squander all the chances that we create. We had over 100 shots in 3 games against United, and yet only score 5 goals. We were averaging a goal every 20 shots. A serious team that doesn't have cartoon characters up front, you know, they're going to end up scoring 4 or 5 a game. And when we don't score, when we're riding our luck against United for whatever reason, despite the fact we've had so many chances, you're going to get punished defensively, especially when ours isn't as solid. The difference is you and Arsenal have solid defences. So even if, for whatever reason, you can only get 1 or 2, you won't concede to a United side that is so blunt. But we did, and we conceded 4 in 1 game because we are idiots. That's the difference. I don't see United all of a sudden, especially with the way the Palace game has gone and with there being absolutely nothing to play for in the league. I don't think these United players have the pride in themselves to go, you know what, let's go ruin Arsenal's party. They'll turn up, 20 minutes gone, 1-0 down, and they'll go, what's the point? Let's just get to this final. And then you'll batter them in the final, and Ten Hag will go, having done irreparable damage to the brand of bald managers in this league, despite the fact that the best manager in this league's recent history has been bald. Does it make sense?
Mate, it's mad. This listen, we're going to come on to Man United when Dan gets sick. So I want to get his opinions as well. But I think everybody knows Man City are winning this league. You know, Tom knows it because Tom's been up against it for the last few years. I know it. I was up against it last year, and I'm up against it this year. I don't see him dropping points, man. I just really don't. I pray with all my might Fulham can pull off something absolutely mad. They did against us. They managed to batter Spurs. Not that that's hard at the moment, but back when Spurs were actually half decent, Fulham did give them a really good game and definitely deserved to beat them. And I watched that game. I was really impressed with Fulham. I hope that Fulham turns up because I think Fulham can give people a good game on their day. My problem is I don't have a clue what Fulham's turning up because they might be on the beach. I hope they're not, but they might be. They've got nothing to play for. Let's be real. Like, you know, their fan base probably don't really care if they lose and gift Man City the league. They probably prefer, from what I've spoken to Fulham fans, that Arsenal win it, but they're not really massively bothered. I think Emilio and fan base just want to see a good game and want to see a performance, want to see some pride. And, you know, Fulham would much rather be in the position they are in now than fighting where Forest and Everton were in the last few weeks, you know. And Fulham have been used to that in the last few years. So I think it proves where you've come. I don't think Marco Silva gets enough credit, if I'm honest. I've said this to you before, Emilio. I think he's a good manager, and I think people just brush past him and are too excited by, you know, what Emery's doing and what De Zerbi. I mean, De Zerbi's actually pretty much with Marco Silva now. He's in 12th or whatever the hell he is. I don't get the obsession with him personally. And then you've got, obviously, O'Neill and Areola, who are getting, rightly so, some credit. But I think Silva, not many people had Fulham, you know, doing what they're doing. And I think sometimes they get overlooked. Fulham this season have beaten Arsenal. They've given Liverpool, I think you'd agree, Tom, a real good run for their money in the games they've played against Liverpool. You know, I don't think Liverpool ever looked at Fulham and thought, nice and easy, walk in the park, this will be a 3-4-0 game. Yeah, I remember the game at Anfield, Trent had to wait to the last minute to win it for him. So, you know, there's some really good opportunities. So, sorry, Tom, go on.
The Fulham are an organised side. It's just going to be about mentality. Do Fulham really have it in them at this point in the season with ultimately nothing really to play for? You're safe, you're secure, you're having a good season. Is it really, you know, in there? Are these players going to dig as deep as you need to get a result against City with nothing really to benefit from it?
You only need a point, Tom.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think, you know.
Yes, but this is Man City that are out the Champions League now. And this is a Pep that simply refuses to lose the Champions League and the Premier League in one go. If they were still in the Champions League, maybe it'd be a different kettle of fish. But this is it for City now. And this is a chance to do a historic four-peat, something that's never been done in English football. And this is a side that have been here, done it, and have got not just a truckload, a boatload of medals to show for it, because in any situation, whether they've been favourite, whether they've not been, they know how to get the job done. They've got clinical goal scorers, they've got controllers. This is a City side that are just ruthless. I've seen them when they're good. To be honest, it shouldn't have got to this position.
Yeah.
With the way City started the season and that run of games where they went on where they didn't win 6 in a row, like I think they dropped points in like 4 or 5 out of 6 games. That was the chance for one of us to capitalize on it and create the gap that you need to beat City in a title race. But neither of us did. And then the inevitable juggernaut that is Man City turns up in December, and then they don't lose a game. And then it's the most it's like Jaws music in the background for the rest of the season, just waiting for them and waiting for them.
Do you know what?
For them.
It's really weird you mentioned that. And Dan, and you'll probably remember this. Remember when we went to the Club World Cup? And that Club World Cup, all City fans were like, we can just come back. I think at the time we were a point or 2 behind. And we were like, right, we're okay. Because it was weird because we actually had our best start ever under Pep in the league. Our best ever start. And then around about October, November is when we sort of dipped a little. But the dips were more draws than they were losses. But we went to that World Cup and we were all saying, everyone to a man, LB, me, Nobbins, City Extra, everyone was saying, we can come back and we're only 3-4 points behind. You know, because we were all I think you two both had 2 games while we were away in Dubai or Saudi Arabia, wherever it was. And the scary thing is we came back and we were like, we're literally a point or 2 behind. And we were shell-shocked. We were like, what's happened? And we came back and we went, right, we've got games in hand, we can go here. And I think that was the opening. That was the opening where, because I'll be honest with you, most City fans were like, league's done. League's done when we come back from the Club World Cup. But as soon as we came back from that Club World Cup, the gap wasn't anywhere near what we all expected it to be. And I think that's when Pep just went, right, you could see it, 2nd gear, 3rd gear, 4th gear. And we ended up on this stupid 33-game unbeaten run that we're in the middle of at the moment, which is just crazy, which Mo knows all about because I remind him daily.
We should have dropped point against Liverpool. We all know that. That's the beaten run. Should have been broken right there. It's fine. It's all right.
How do you rate your team?
Puss in Boots can't score as one-on-ones, Mo. It's because Donkey and Puss in Boots can't take the chances. It's the story of our
also
season.
the referee bottled it. You know that they bottled it. You know.
We wouldn't have been in a situation to moan about the referee if Luis Diaz could score any one of his 3 or 4 one-on-ones that he had.
I agree.
He's got a point.
I agree. Diaz and Nunes, man.
That's besides the point.
It's not, though, because ultimately you can't moan about referees.
That penalty should not have even mattered in that game. 2nd half, we got.
I agree with you, but it mattered at the end because they have the donkey up top and Luis Diaz. So, yes, it mattered. Anyway.
Well,
I'm not here to cause trouble or anything, by the way, Dan. I'm all right. I'm not here to do anything.
Emilio, come in. Sorry, go on.
That's what I say. And look, from the outside, looking at Man City, I compared to last year, I don't think this team is as competitive or as strong as your team from last year. The fact that you're still in it for a chance to win the title, put that aside for a moment. How do you compare this Man City team over the last 10 years? Where does it rate in terms of this squad? Does it say a lot about the quality of the Premier League, that the fact you're still in it with not your best team? Or do you think this is up there with your top 2, top 3 team? Where do you see this? Because I don't see it as a neutral, as strong, as competitive as it was last year, or even the year before that, for that matter.
See, I disagree with that. I think it's a lot more competitive. That's why Villa are in the top 4.
But you as a team, though, you saying you're stronger than last season?
No, I wouldn't say, we're a different team now. I don't buy into this because there was only Gundogan and Mahrez left, and Mahrez wasn't playing in our starting 11. People talk like Riyad Mahrez was playing in all the games last season. He wasn't. He was playing in the sort of cup games, etc. That was the reason he left, because he wasn't playing in the big games. He wasn't getting utilised. He was coming on and getting 10 minutes. Didn't want that. So we replaced Mahrez with Doku. Doku's on course exactly what every player under Pep is in the first year. Starts off really slow, and then towards the end of the first season, starts showing improvement with the things under Pep. Still lots of improvement needs to be done. Nunes, again, very similar with his first season. Probably not got as many minutes as he wants, but there's a lot of promise behind Nunes, behind the scenes from the club.
You missed Gundogan, haven't you? You missed Gundogan.
Yeah.
You say that, but Rodri's actually surpassed Gundogan this season.
In what respect? But he's different position though, right?
Yeah, well, technically no, because Rodri's become more of an 8 in most games. That's why he's getting 2 assists and goals every game. Because what's happened is Kovacic has become the sitter, which has allowed Rodri to become the 8. Because Rodri has actually, Gundogan last season got 18 goals and assists. Rodri's already on 22. Rodri's contributions in the attacking force have majorly gone under the radar by a lot of people this year.
No, I agree with that.
It really has majorly gone under the radar.
I can't believe he's not up for Player of the Year either. I mean, that's mad. But there we go.
But I don't count that one because that's some FC 24 EA load of crap. That's just for the kiddies, that one. For the fans to vote. No disrespect.
Fair enough.
I know Liverpool fans are like Al Van Dijk. I don't even agree with Haaland being in the top 5. Never mind Van Dijk. Van Dijk and Haaland should not be in that top 5 because Haaland scored goals, but there's been 5 better players overall than Haaland this season. How Gabriel and Saliba are not in there is amazement, and they've copped it out.
Gabriel, I don't know how Gabriel isn't in there. That's crazy.
But they've copped it out. It's like the young one. How old's Isaac?
Yeah, 24. Do you know what? This is a funny stat for you, right? Isaac made his debut when Kobe Manu was 10 years old, and he's in the same category as Kobe Manu.
Kobe Manu should be in it because to me, a young player should be. They've come into the team, they're having a few minutes, they're making some instances in a game, but still lots of promise. Phil Foden shouldn't be in the young players.
No, I agree.
They've got over 200 appearances each.
It's four of them are in both categories. I mean, 4 people are in both categories here. What is going on?
Do you know the howler is going to happen? Do you know what the howler is going to happen, right?
Go on.
Foden is going to win Player of the Year, and someone else will win Young Player of the Year.
Cole Palmer.
Me and Tom were talking about this. That's the howler.
The awards don't make sense. It ends up discrediting pretty much any individual award that is given because there's 3 separate Player of the Years for England. You've got the football writers, you've got the Premier League, and then you've got the PFA. There has been years where 3 separate players have won Player of the Year. So who's the Player of the Year? It doesn't make sense. And the Young Player of the Year, don't get me started on that. Alexander Isak was born in 99.
Yeah, and he's a young player. What?
Mad.
Mate, 25.
Because we end up taking away from some of the youngsters who actually do deserve the credit, like Lewis Miley.
Spot on.
For Newcastle.
Miley, Anthony Gordon. Even that young Palace lad, what's his name? Wharton. He's come in January, looks quality. Like, do you know what I mean? Elise even. I just don't get it, man.
There's so many who just get shunned to the side.
Elise, he should. The up and coming Kobe Mainus, this is where they should be. There.
I agree.
But anyway, to answer your question, Emil,
it doesn't help as well when like half of the young players are in the players.
I do think we're different this season, but we are as well because we've scored we're on cut, but we're 1 goal behind Arsenal scoring wise, and we've conceded 1 less than last season up to now. So statistically, we're actually better than last season.
Okay.
But to answer you, Emilio, they are worse than last season.
But they're not. In your opinion, they are.
You
don't like the style of play. Just because you don't like the style of play. You don't get an award at the end, Mo. For
it's not the style of play. It's not the style of play, Martin. It's not. The fact that until this, my main evidence about this is until this moment, you can ask 80% of the Man City fans, what is Pep going to do next game, the starting 11, and they wouldn't know. One time it's Doku, one time it's Grealish, Bernardo on the right, Foden. That's the testament to that. Even Pep doesn't know until this moment his good starting 11. Diaz is in and out of the team because he's dropped stinkers and had good games, right? Kyle Walker had good games, but because they don't have right backs, he started. But when they had everybody fit, Akanji started. At the current moment, even Pep Guardiola is trying to find the right combination. I have never seen Man City fans before this season say, why is Rodri getting bypassed in the middle? Because he's isolated. Why is Pep doing this? Because he can't find the right midfielder next to him. because sometimes he shoves Alvarez there. Why do you
He
think
did
a
that last
coach
season,
plays
Mo.
Alvarez there?
Did
Why do you
that
think
last season, Mo.
not from February?
He
From
did.
February, we all
Oh,
knew
oh.
the only change that happened in the end of the season is when Mahrez played some games on the right winger.
No, it wasn't.
Right.
No, it wasn't. See, I'll tell you what it was. Last season, honestly, it's on my channel. All the videos are there. I have literally done rinse and repeat shows this season, from last season to this, because it is basically, it works as a pattern. Up until about February, City are never the same team. City are worse than last season. City are this. I had the exact same conversations with City fans last year, and it's happened again. And then last season, I think it was after. Remember the
February.
the Forest game when we drew one each. That went Spurs and we went to Forest and we drew one each, and everyone was absolutely melting down after Forest. We're not going to win a bean. We're done. This team needs revamping. Gundogan's not good enough. Honestly, this is where we were at February, March last season. Then March, Pep went, I'm going to change my formation around and played the inverted John Stones role. He's done the exact same thing this season, but instead of the inverted role, made it to a 3-5-2. And if you look at, so technically, this season has actually followed the exact same pattern from the last 3 years. February, March, we're not there, and then we go. It's very weird how he does it, but and this is my argument with City fans this season. I've even argued with my own fans because I'm like, you've forgotten everything you said last season. Just rinse and repeat. I will tape record it and I'll play it back next season and we'll have the exact same conversation in February. I know we will. It'll be Pep's done, we're finished, blah, 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 and we'll go again. Because
people do this, though. People do this. I remember when Manchester City, they sold Zinchenko and Jesus, and everybody went, this will be different now. And Sterling, sorry. This will be different now. They did it again this season. Mahrez and Gundogan are going to be missed. I don't do that stuff. I don't listen anymore. Like Pep Guardiola wins the league every year. It's just the way it is, unfortunately. And until I see that change, evidentially, I ain't going to change my opinion each year. Every time someone says, "Who do you think will win the league?" I know who's going to win the league, and it's doing my head in. If I'm honest, it's doing my head in. 4 times this will be now if they win.
It's
before
even
I
more
come
annoying
to
when they open the door for you. They opened this season. There was a door.
So
there was a window where you could jump in.
Yeah.
People always say, "What did you have to do the year that you won it?" We had to be better than we were the year before. I needed City to play Fernandinho and Rodri as centre backs for a month, and that was it. And we had to build up a 25-point gap. That is the only way you stop this juggernaut. It's almost like they play with their food for the first half of the season. Pep just tries to have a laugh, tries to see what works, tries to see what doesn't, and then the moment it hits the new year, even if it might not seem like it because he's constantly making adjustments, he knows exactly his best team and how he wants to play. That's why they go on these winning runs. Pep and City would not be unbeaten for 30-odd games if Pep didn't know his best team. Just because
they are miles above everybody else. Because he's miles above everyone else.
Well, do you remember last season there was that debate? See whether remembers this. City couldn't win 3 games in a row last season in the league.
That's only in the beginning.
No, that was right up until March.
Mm-hmm.
Until February.
March,
you started from
winning.
March 1st. Game week 25, Martin, you won every game. From game 25, you won every game. And convincingly to the point that people didn't believe that you would lose a game.
That's the point I'm making. You just said it, March.
Until this moment, until like 2 weeks ago, people still had hope that you will drop points against the Brentfords and stuff like that. Because Pep Guardiola kept changing the lineup every game.
No, Mo, they had blind hope because
oh my God, here comes the Liverpool fan with the defending of Man City. Here we go.
You're the only person who ever actually makes me defend Pep. I've always stated I hate his football. I hate him for ruining this thing.
Pep Guardiola is the greatest.
Discredit what he's done.
You are not understanding my point. Pep Guardiola, I think you are missing my point. You are actually thinking that I'm absolutely criticizing Pep. Pep is the greatest manager to ever exist in the league, ever. No one ever created a system that good, ever. If I want a coach to my team, I would choose Pep every day of the week, right? You're misunderstanding my point. I'm not slagging him off. This guy's a genius, bro. He changed football forever, right? Until someone else comes with that mind and change the football. You're misunderstanding the point. The point is, are City the same as last season? Are they as strong? I said at the end of last season, this is the best team I've watched to play football ever. And I'm 39 years old, right? And I'm watching football for a long time. I said that. This season, I'm watching them. They aren't the same, right? They aren't the same. Every game, it changes. The way they reach the goal is different. The way they defend is different. Yes, he changed the formation, right? He keeps changing personnel. And the problem with him, that last season, it's not the problem. The difference between this season and last season, the way they played last season, even with personnel changing at the end, from March onward, I'm saying from March onward, it looked similar. It looked the same every game. Personnel changed this guy, put this guy in, the team looks the same. This season, you change Nunes, put Kovacic, it looks different. You change Grealish, you put Doku, it looks different. You put Foden on the right, it is different than Foden in the middle. Alvarez is different than Haaland. While last season, you change Bernardo, you put this guy, it looks the same.
Yeah, but
right?
I think
That's
the
the
new
diff.
strength
That's
of them,
my point. And
that's
he's
the
still
new
great,
strength.
though. He's still good, Tom. He's
Yeah,
still
but
good. That's a testament to how good the guy is. It's not slagging him off.
No,
Go
I
ahead.
think the point I want to make is Martin can probably explain it better. First half of the season, I felt City were trying to do what they'd done at the back end of last season during that March run, but the players just weren't able to because they lost some profiles and some players were struggling with injuries or whatever. So now Pepper's basically went, whenever you play your best role. And I'll tinker little things here and there. And the constant changing means that teams that go up against City don't really know how to prepare to play City. You either are so good that you play one way only, but and everyone knows how to stop it, but stopping it is a separate thing. Or you have what I think City have now, which is the little adjustments every game with different personnel, open up different avenues, which simply means they're unpredictable. And unpredictability is hard to defend against. Are there still moments in games where they look a little bit shaky? I.e. Nottingham Forest, for sure. But they look a lot more controlled now than they did at the start of the season.
Nothing you said is wrong.
Doesn't mean
Everything you said is spot on.
No, but it's not very different because we've had to deal with something we've never had to deal with before. It's no excuse. And you know what I mean? We've had major injuries this year, which I know every team has, but we've always got away with it. No, it's a real weird thing. You look at City's injury record the last 4 years.
Oh, Martin, I love you. I love
no, but
you.
we haven't.
Your
And it's
squad
not
is
an excuse.
unbelievable, bro.
But it's not. It's the smallest squad in the Premier League.
Yeah, but it's the best. It's quality. There's 19 top
Have you
quality
seen
players.
City fans wreck Kovacic and Nunes this season? They'd rather have Mr. Magoo in the middle than Nunes or Kovacic, some of them. Honestly, I've never... Some City fans were absolutely rinsed Nunes and Kovacic this season.
I don't think Nunes has
Absolutely
been great.
rinsed
I
them.
think Kovacic has been all right, you know, but Nunes, I'm not sure.
I'm happy with that. Nunes just takes time for me. It's too much of this. Whether we like this or not, after we won the treble, expectations changed and people wanted this and they wanted that and they wanted us to go on this 15,000 unbeaten run and score 100 goals every
This
damn
has
game.
come up, this has come up,
Treble winner.
Martin, from AMT saying, can City keep on doing it all the time, going on unexpected unbeaten run later in the season, which people will talk about Rodri not losing a game in almost over a year and stuff like this. It's mad.
Keep saying no. I keep saying that'll never happen. I've said it this season. Oh, we can't keep relying on that. So I keep saying no, but it keeps happening. I think, well, Pep said that's the way. It's not accident anymore. 4 years on the bounce that we've done the exact same thing. It's not an accident. This is pre-planned. This is pre-planned from the get-go. We used the first 4 months as pre-season, and then Pep wants to figure everything out. That's, you know, the time when we played Chelsea, Tottenham, and Liverpool. We were doing basketball, football, end-to-end, which we've never done. Which was, like I said, most completely right. Rodri was isolated because we were just going, that's your back four, that's your front four, and Rodri's in the middle, and neither one will meet in the middle ever again. And we were just, it was stupid.
Well, listen, the only thing that I think will stop, there's only one thing that can stop Pep. I'll bring it up. This is the only thing that can stop Pep. I'm not going to go into it. Because it'll be another hour long. But that's the only thing. If you're guilty of 115, that's the only
Get
thing.
your solicitor ready if you say it again.
Oh, no, if you say 115, you need a
When
lawyer.
I say it, I will accept all the apologies when the decision comes out.
Well, there we go. You
If the charges were to be correct, I am shamelessly going to go to 3 separate parades as some of my 3 Rob Lee titles. I will have everyone now. Because I haven't had one yet. I will do 3 in one summer.
In that over. Cancelled it. Andy.
Yeah, I don't care. I'll get Stevie back from Saudi. I'll get Stevie and the gang back from Saudi for the 13-14 one.
They're all coming back.
Listen,
Jordan Ayew,
Skertel and Sacco again. Have them
Solanke's back in.
Tom, I'll get Michael Owen back for the one we missed, then, mate, as well.
Listen, before we move, I want to go touch on Arsenal United, obviously, but I do want to quickly ask Tom a few things on Liverpool. But before I do that, Emilio, fill me with some optimism and a score prediction for tomorrow, please, bro. Please.
Well, I'm looking at the comments. Everyone's saying everyone thinks it's mad for Fulham to beat Man City. We don't need to be reading Man City. We just need to be not losing the game. So I think depending what team we put out, get your point in mind, depends what team Man City put out. But I'm not expecting us to get anything from the game, but funny things happen, right? So you've got to predict a shock. You might get a 1-1 draw. You know, maybe get a 2-2 draw. You might even get a bloody win. You never know. Football is football. It's one game, 90 minutes or 100 minutes these days, but anything can happen. You know, we mustn't concede early. If we can keep it tight first 20 minutes, not concede an early goal, then we could end up being battered. But if we can stay in it for the first 20, 30 minutes, you never know. Last season, you were fighting for the Premier League. Narrow 2-1 win at the Cottage. Is this time last season? And we should have had a penalty, and we didn't get one. VAR clearly that was a
surprise.
Michael Oliver special.
But look, we were in that game. We made it difficult for you. So let's do it again this season. So I'm not expecting anything, but my club, I believe in them, and I'm hoping we can get a draw. So a draw for him, 1-1, 2-2.
1-1, 2-2.
I think we're either going to win, draw, or lose. That's the prediction.
Never
get sold. Listen, I think it's going to be a Man City win. I'm absolutely praying and fingers crossed it's not going to be. Martin, shout me what you're saying.
It'll be a tough game. I think we'll win 3-0, 3-1.
Okay, interesting. Optimistic then. Tom, let's come to you, bro, because Liverpool, let's be real, it's been a kind of down few weeks for Liverpool fans, man. There was the hype. We've got Errol on this channel, the quad father. He was bigging it up. He had his chest out, and we haven't heard from him for a few weeks. But listen, it's been a bit of a strange one. I want to ask you this, man. Listen, I guess you accepted that it's going to be a bit of a sad end for Klopp, right? But what I will say is you've got Arne Slot coming in, so I want to get your thoughts on that. And I want to get your thoughts, more importantly, on the players that you think are going to be here next season. Because a lot of people talk about Salah. Some are talking about Van Dijk. A lot of people are talking about Trent maybe off to like Real Madrid or something like that. I have no idea of any of those rumors whatsoever, right? But I really don't think it is going to be the same Liverpool. But I don't look at it, Tom, and go, well, I think Liverpool will be 6th, 7th this coming season. I can't do that because I look at the player quality you have got and know that you've got players there that are winners that have done stuff. So I look at this season and, yeah, you might not be title challenging. You could be, but I don't know that you will be.
Yeah, you never know. All we need is for everyone to lose and we win, and then we win the title.
Well, there you go, bro. So talk to me, man. How are you feeling about and the players in particular, man? The players in particular.
I'm excited for the change, I'll be honest. I think 9 years is a long time at any football club.
Tom, be careful what you wish for, mate. I said that when Fergie went.
No,
I said that when Fergie went. Be careful what you wish for there, mate. Trust me there.
Do you know what it is, though? I never wanted Jurgen Klopp to stay longer than he should have done. And for us to have a season where it goes really badly wrong. Like I didn't want Jurgen Klopp to have another season like last season, basically. And people start to look at him differently. I still will never change my thoughts on Jurgen Klopp, the best manager I've ever seen in my lifetime for my football club. But I think with the changes that the ownership are making to how the football club's being run and everything, as a little bit of a data nerd when it comes to football, I'm excited for them changes. We are fully revamping everything from upstairs, changing everything about how this club was run, going back to the way that it was run when we built the successful teams. The only difference is we've got a manager who isn't as good as Klopp. I don't know. I'll be honest. I have no idea much about Arne Slot. He goes from the Dutch league. I've never been the biggest fan of the Dutch league, but apparently he ticks all the metrics for Michael Edwards and his team. So, considering I said when the news was breaking about Edwards, I would take Edwards back and his guy over the manager I wanted, Ruben Amorim, and his team. I've got to live and die on that sword. So, Arne Slot, I'm hoping that it is the right appointment. You know, he apparently plays a pretty similar style in aspects to Klopp, which I think is kind of what this club's trying to do now, keep certain elements of that and build a club ethos. Some players will have to move on in the summer. I, for one, though, don't want any of the 3 players who were in the last 12 months to move on yet. I still think Van Dijk is the best centre-back in the league when he's not having to play with a new backline every game. Trent is... Trent. I don't even think I really need to explain much about him. He's the young one there. So much quality, and I think that it's about time for a new evolution into his game. And with Salah, I have an attack that is at best wildly inconsistent. I cannot go through the biggest change my football club has had in 9 years and sell the only consistent forward I have and go through 38 games of Puss in Boots, Donkey and Gingerbread Man up top, hoping that they work together and can all, provide for me, because that's not going to happen. So Salah has to stay. Whether he stays in that role, I don't really know. I personally think it's time for Salah to move into a striker role to try and preserve his career and use his strengths and sort of stop putting him as an Albrighton on the wing, get him back close to goal, considering he's a 3-time Premier League Golden Boot winner. I wouldn't be shocked if Diaz goes this summer. There's big clubs interested in him. No idea why, but there's big clubs interested in him, like PSG. They give me 70, 75 million, like it's been rumoured. I snap their hand off and I drive Diaz straight to that airport myself. I could see, one of Robertson or Tsimikas getting moved on this summer. I think like Matip and Thiago are already gone. And there's a whole thing now about Darwin Núñez, about what, his agent's flirting with Barcelona. Be hilarious watching Núñez try and play tiki-taka, I'll say that much. If he does want to go, get him gone. I've never been someone who wants to keep a player at the club who doesn't want to be here. If he wants to go, we can go. The fans have backed him massively, all things considered, and we still have the same problems with him that we had when he first joined. If I can move him on and trust Edwards, the guy who brought Salah, Mane and Firmino to the football club to build the new look Liverpool attack, that's something I'll take more so. I expect within the next 2-3 years a full revamp of Liverpool's squad, because a lot of this squad Edwards wouldn't have. And I put a lot of weight on him and his team building the really successful Liverpool team from 2017 to 2020. That team was built off him and his data nerds and everything they had. And the moment we started to move away from that and started relying more on coaches' opinions and stuff, all of a sudden recruitment became a lot more volatile and less, a lot more hit and miss. We started to have a couple more duds in there. So going back to the successful way, but putting full control into that and effectively relegating Arne Slot to a coach, I think it's the way a lot of European clubs do it. And I think it's the way that football should be done now, rather than having a manager there, because all our clubs pay the people in recruitment hundreds of thousands, if not millions of pounds a year to do their jobs. I don't want my manager then usurping all of them and going above their heads, because I don't think it's a very smart move. So I'm excited for the change. I'm going to get through these last 2 games, give Jürgen the right send-off, and then look forward to a summer and a year of revamp. But I don't expect us to, don't get me wrong, if we come like 6th or 7th next year, I'll be massively disappointed, because this is a squad that should be in that top 4 easy. Really should be challenging for league titles, especially if we get a full summer window under our belts with the right recruitment. This isn't a squad that has massively overperformed this year. I think there's an argument of an overperformance when you consider the context of the way the season's gone, with the sheer amount of injuries we had and them all occurring in that weird time frame. But all in all, the squad, many expected to come 3rd. the start of the season. I certainly did. And it's going to come third, unless we see the biggest capitulation ever from Arsenal and Man City, which isn't going to happen. So we'll finish third. We'll get a cup under our belts. We send Jurgen off on his way, and we dive into the data Liverpool 3.0 and look forward to the changes.
You know what, Tom? I'll say this. Arne Slot coming in, I have no idea what it's going to be like either. I also cannot predict from about 3rd to 12th next season. I have no idea what's going to happen. I imagine Arsenal and City will probably be up there. Other than that, God knows. But what I will say is, and Emilio won't like me saying this, but I think there's some Premier League players that could actually do a really good job for Liverpool. I really do mean that. And I think Fulham have got 2 of them that I think could do well. Now, I don't think Fulham will want to lose. Emilio will want to lose these players, but I think Paulinho would be perfect for Liverpool. And I think that Anthony Robertson would be a fantastic left back to replace Andrew Robertson, right? But I'm not just going to say go and take all Fulham's players. I think Elise would be a perfect signing for Liverpool if you're interested in him. I don't think you look too far. My problem is, Tom, I don't see Arne Slot going for those sort of lads. I really don't. I think Arne Slot might look towards bringing a bit of the Ten Hag thing and bringing some of his bloody players from Feyenoord. Would you mind that? Is my question.
No. It's very well documented that Arne Slot is basically being told you're not having any say on the transfers. You're not allowed to bring your guys in. We are bringing in Edwards. We've just appointed like Julian Ward, who was the former like assistant to him, and we've got some guy from Benfica, and we brought in the Bournemouth director of football and his team. We are going very much the data guys and the recruitment guys do recruitment. Slot, you're going to get given these players. We've done all the research behind them, so we know what they can do. But it's on you to coach them, which I think is the way forward. Otherwise, I'd be looking at a summer window of selling all our best players and then having Feyenoord 2.0 as my squad. And as we've seen from Manchester United, that's not the way to go. If you're paying these guys the big bucks to come back, which we have done, especially with Edwards, like he's got a stake in FSG now, the ownership group. That's what we have to do to get him back.
But they're gonna give him players that suit how he wants to play football.
Yes, okay. Because that was what we used to do with Jurgen Klopp in the first couple of years. The amount of data our guys have is ridiculous. I mean, there was an article which showed like one of the sheets of data that we correlate on players. The amount of data and the amount of numbers they have for stuff these players do is ridiculous. So I have no doubt that
it's going to turn into baseball at Liverpool.
But when we were successful, it was baseball. That's why we got Salah over Brandt and Mane over Guetta, because we went with the data over the manager's choice, and that was ultimately what brought the success. That's the way to be as a football club now, and I don't want us to bring in this Arne Slot guy who has less pedigree than Jurgen Klopp and give him all the power. It's not the way forward. I could see us shopping in the Premier League. There's a lot of good talents in the Premier League, and the fact that you're not having the stress and the worry about are they going to adapt to the league, that's a big selling point. To be honest, the name that I wouldn't be shocked if it gets linked with us this summer, even though his hamstrings are made of Swiss cheese and fall apart after 5 games, is Pedro Neto. I know that
he's
Edwards
a baller, man.
Loved him.
Absolute baller, man.
Edwards absolutely loved him last time he was here, but he just joined Wolves, and then since he's been gone, he's really struggled with the injuries. But that's the kind of thing that Edwards likes. I'm just trusting this new recruitment staff and this new look to money.
It was about 80 million, wasn't it now? And I think Elisa, I heard somewhere it was about his actual release clause is between about 35 and 40. It's nowhere near the
as well.
Nowhere near. Well, Fabrizio said it a couple of months back. Said it's not 60 million. Don't know where
he is a baller, man. He is so good, Elise.
It's a lot lower.
There's another article that came out today saying that even there's some clauses and stuff in it, but it's not 60. It's closer to 45 or 50.
It's a lot lower than people are talking. When it's
take that all day long.
When they did his contract renewal, they rechanged his release clause. There's something about it because we got linked with him in the summer.
Yeah, I mean, I'd at least say I'd take it Liverpool. I think there's a lot. We need to add definitely a centre back because we've only got 3 really. Definitely a left back. I'd hope to add a DM, and depending on where Slot sees Salah playing next year, either a winger and a striker, or 2 wingers and then move Salah up front. But I do think we need about 4 or 5 signings next year.
You just named about 7 players. You know what question's coming now. Will FSG green light that spend? And I'm not triggering it. I know what MSG.
Yeah.
Well, if you get the players out, you got to sell some players.
Mm.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. With the money that apparently we could get for Luis Diaz, with the money that you could get for a Nunes if he was to go, with the money you could get for a Tsimikas, we've got a lot of young players who had good seasons in the
Tom,
Championship as well. And
Or you just sell Salah for 120 million and then you buy who you want.
you could do that's another option. Don't agree with it, like, because I have to deal with donkey pussy boots and gingerbread man up top. But
what money could you get for
Tsimikas? You got like 15, 20. Like he's had a decent season. He signed a new deal. Like you won't get much per se, but we are going to start with a base level of money that we can spend, and then if you add about 120 from sales, that should be enough to buy all you need. Because
how much would you get?
I'm not expecting us to buy the 70, 80 millions of this world. That's never how we operate. We buy the 40s and the 50s and the 30s and try and turn them into the 70s and the 80s. Ultimately, when we spend big, it doesn't work sometimes.
If you get offered 70 million, you got to take that. Darwin Nunez, I don't know what you get for him now.
If someone offers me anywhere close to 70 for Diaz, I'm taking it. Diaz is the same player he was 2 years ago, but 2 years older. So there's less room for him to grow and less room for him to fix the problem of zero.
Because the only club I've heard he's been linked with was Bayern. That was the only one.
PSG are really interested in Diaz, apparently. Like his agent's been pushing for that for ages.
PSG want everyone,
Mbappe going. Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked if we worked something else with PSG, and then to be honest, I'd love for us to do a deal with PSG where we send them Diaz and they send us just 10, 15, but like Ugarte as well, and we solve the DM problem straight away. And I don't need to go into what I think is a pretty poor market, all things considered, to buy this DM to put alongside McAllister. We need to be smart in the window, 100%, because I don't think the quality in the positions that we need this window is necessarily fantastic. But I couldn't ask, based on my experience, for a better team to be in charge of this window than the team that we've got in Edwards and Hughes and Ward and this Benfica guy who's apparently responsible for developing all of their good talents across the last 6-7 years. If we've got that as a core basis to build off, it might take a couple of years to get going, but the sky's the limit, really. And this is how we compete. We won't ever spend the big bucks.
What if you don't compete?
I knew he was loading. I could tell by his face he was loading. So I was smirking because he was switched off. And then right at the end, when Tom said that, Mo went, right, here we go. The opening.
It depends on the context. If it was the players performed decently, but the manager was making stupid decisions, then yeah, I've got to look at the manager. If it was the players that let them down, the system was something to believe in, then, we might have to look at, the way the recruitment's being ran. But there's certainly it depends how bad of an underachievement or failure to compete is. If we come third and we go far in cups like the Champions League and the FA Cup, and as a result, we sort of fell off in the back end of the league, I've got no problem with that, really, in a first season. But if it was outside Champions League next season, that's where the worries can set in, and that's where the concerns can be. But it all depends on the context of the situation. I'm going to give the slot and this guy time, and the recruiting guy.
Why would you give him time? Aren't you ready to challenge this season?
We are, but it's also one of the toughest jobs to ever have to replace.
Do you think if Man City, if Pep Guardiola win the league this season and they reach the Champions League quarterfinals, do you think if Pep decides to go, should Man City accept a rebuild?
No, because City operate differently to how we do.
So it's about how you do it. It's not about.
It's about how our ownership live and die on the sustainability model.
Okay.
I don't understand though, Tom, because you've just said that the squad you've got should consistently stick in top four. So if there are issues the first 4 or 5 months of the season, then clearly it's the manager.
Yes, but I also don't want to necessarily jump the gun, because if I jump the gun on the manager straight away and go, this is why we might lose, where it all clicks into place, I'm not a fan of sacking managers mid-season unless it is a dire strait, i.e. Roy Hodgson telling us we're not too big for a relegation battle in December. If we're just on the cusp of top four, is the concerns there? 100%. But I'm not going to jump the gun and get rid of him, because if we do that and then right as the team was just starting to get click and everything gets into place and we missed that opportunity, that's where the spiral and that's where the mistakes that a lot of other clubs have made can happen. I want us to stick by our philosophy of but a club that ends up giving managers a lot of time, some too long, others, the right amount of time. I don't want us to suddenly start getting trigger happy with managers just because they're not matching this or this or this or this. So that's the trust I want to have in them. But if we're like 8th, 9th,
okay.
Concerns need to be
if
had.
Arteta doesn't win the league this season or next season and Arsenal sack the guy, do you believe Arsenal fans should give the new manager time? By the way, Arsenal are built on sustainability and this thing.
Yes.
You believe so?
I think clubs
do you agree with this?
I think clubs should.
If Arteta doesn't win the league, you should give the next manager time with the squad that is ready to win.
Depends who the next manager is. Depends who the next manager is. If it's a win now manager, no, absolutely don't need him to win now. To be honest with you, Mo, actually, I think everyone should be looking to win now. And people will go, but it's Pep, you can't win now. Well, Conte managed to do it, Klopp managed to do it. Let's find the next manager who can. Do you know what I mean? This is a good Arsenal squad, by the way.
So do you think, so to follow up on that, Dan, do you think they should have hired a manager that is known more to win? Liverpool.
Who? Liverpool? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
So you think that is an underwhelming appointment?
Would have been better. I honestly believe a Hansi Flick or a Tuchel or somebody like that would have been better than Arne Slot. And I'll say the same for Man United. I would rather go Tuchel or Hansi Flick than De Zerbi.
All that argument is towards this. All what I'm saying, I'm just going towards this. Has Liverpool appointed someone that is an unknown and it's a risk and it's an underwhelming appointment? Is this their actual choice? Do they actually here should have planned it better if Xabi Alonso doesn't work? If Amorim doesn't work?
No, we're seeing what's happened with Bayern, I think, in a way. Bayern wanted Xabi Alonso, said no. They're now going so far down the list, like Ten Hag being linked.
Ten Hag is crazy.
They have literally gone to page 6 of the list, and I think that's what I think we've seen that with Liverpool. I do.
I am not saying. By the way, I am not going to sit here and say I know the future. Arne Slot might come in and challenge right away, right? I don't watch enough of Eredivisie. Right? I have no idea. But is it an underwhelming appointment for a club and to follow a manager like Jurgen Klopp after rebuilding the squad?
The only thing I will say is people are looking at it as, this is the Ten Hag thing. Ten Hag could play a style of football at Ajax. Look at it. The reason it's different is because Liverpool's structure is so much better than what Man United has been, right? So that they're going to be on the same page. Arne Slot has got a really attractive style of play. I think everybody knows that. But what I don't know is what he's going to do with this Liverpool side. I do want to move on, but just Tom, lastly, come in on that because I do need to go to United Arsenal. But go on, Tom.
Is it an underwhelming appointment? Yes, because it's not Alonso, but I do believe that he was the second guy on the list. I think we wanted Alonso, but Alonso is a smart man who knows that staying at Leverkusen is probably the best move at this point in his career. We couldn't just stand still and wait for that.
You think he was ahead of Amorim?
Yeah, I do. I wanted Amorim personally, but I think he was ahead of Amorim. And I think the whole thing Amorim done with getting on a plane to go over to London to try and force our hand didn't look good for him, especially when you're using West Ham, of all clubs, as deployed. Like, no offence to West Ham, but...
Class, man. That was class. Lawless got so excited for like about 5 minutes.
It's not like it's not going to force our hand and go, oh, no, we lose that to West Ham. But no, this is how we run. This is how FSG run this football club. Do I agree with it? No. But I can't change that now. So I've got to sort of get on board with it and try and see the positives. Arne Slot is seen as the best Dutch manager. It's coming out the Eredivisie for the last 15, 20 years with what he's done with AZ. Yeah, but what he apparently, like, he nearly won a league title with AZ. Which I don't even know who they are, but apparently he nearly won a league title with AZ, and then COVID stopped him. And then,
right, yeah.
And then Feyenoord, he's won a title there, won a cup there. You know, I know my journalists, and I know they do all the stuff about copium and all this sort of thing about how he's the greatest thing since sliced bread, but there's some stuff to like there. It all comes down to how he is as a manager, though. And
Tom, how old are you, guys? How old are you?
21.
I remember Steve McLaren winning the Dutch league with FC20, mate, and everyone thought he was the next big thing. I'm just saying, the Dutch league is I'm living proof, brother. The Dutch league is a bit.
Listen, that's a nice segue, man. That's a nice segue, Dan, because we do need to move. Declan Rice is a very good player, but I'm happy with Mason Mount. That's the latest I've heard from your manager.
Yeah, well, he's going to say that. What? Right, let's stop this. Let's stop this right there. He's not going to come and go, oh, I wanted Rice back to make do with Mount, is he? He's not going to throw a player under the bus like that. So let's.
Why did he bring up Mount? Why did he bring up Mount? Just say, yeah, Declan Rice is a good player.
He signed this summer because he didn't bring Amrabat into the conversation.
It was a crazy statement, in my opinion. But Dan, are you still Ten Hag in? Are you still backing him?
So this is twisted. I never sat there and said like I'm going to back. I think he's the best manager for us. I said that I don't think there's anyone else out there available that comes in that I trust to do a better job. I don't think Southgate comes in and does a better job. I don't think Graham Potter comes in and does a better job. Graham Potter got thrown to the walls with Chelsea with such a toxic atmosphere. That atmosphere is still there at Manchester United. Therefore, I still think he would be ripped to pieces. What I said was, I'm happy to give him another 12 months with this new structure behind him. I am, because at the end of the day, for people who are available, I get asked this question all the time. Who do you want at Man United? Well, yeah, I'd take Simeone in a heartbeat. We ain't getting Simeone. We ain't getting the managers that Manchester United fans want. So I feel like there needs to be a sense of realism there. I feel like there has to be realism. With respect to the weekend, if you don't beat us at the weekend, Potts, shame on you. Shame on you. Shame on you. Because, today Mount's now out again. He's out again, so he's not there. I know that Lissandro Martinez has been training. They're not going to risk him until the FA Cup final, which proves that he is going all in on the FA Cup final. He doesn't care about the league anymore. So yeah, it's sad state. I've got a countdown on my phone until this season finishes. What is it now? It's like 7,000 minutes. I literally cannot. I'm done with this season. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting weekend because I'm getting told, but United always turn up against Arsenal at Old Trafford. Yeah, but Arsenal haven't faced a team like this at Old Trafford. This is the other way round. This is when we played you 8-2. And we smashed you. This is going to be the reverse of that, 100%.
Mate, I'm really confident, man. I can't even lie. I'm really confident. Oh Christ, we've got loads of bots in the chat. I'm going to sort that out in a minute. Yeah, I'm really confident, man. Like seriously confident. Mo, you're getting a lot of love in the chat.
Actually, no. I don't think these are bots. There is a YouTuber who watches us and supports us big time. Did you get a redirect or something?
I don't know. Yeah, maybe I am. Maybe that's what happened.
Okay, so he's someone who from the Balkan and he supports myself and Osam. He's a gamer and he just loves our shows, displays our shows on his channel. He streamed, gamer. So I think he sent his people.
Oh, okay.
Big up, Mookie.
Big up, man. Big up.
It's not bots.
I thought it was a bot to start with. It was coming up the same thing.
I don't think so.
Big up. Yes, appreciate that. Yeah. Not bots.
Did he send a redirect to your way?
Clearly. I love to the guy. I love him. Thank you so much.
Yeah, he's always a fantastic. Always supports our channels. Always sends his people there. So he's just a good guy.
Oh, big up, my guy. Big up, my guy. Thank you so much. Sorry, man. I thought it was a box. I didn't recognize these people. So big up. Really appreciate the redirect, man. And big up Mo for being so popular.
Did it say redirect?
Must be. Yeah,
he did. He's a fantastic, just out of love. He just follows us, Sam, sends redirects wherever we are on channels. And he's fantastic person. Not a lot of people do that. Yeah, that's him.
Man.
He's a big YouTuber in the Balkan, does like gaming and stuff. So yes.
Oh, love, man. Love. Make sure you go subscribe and show some love, man. Really appreciate that. Thank you so much, my bro. Really appreciate that. Listen, Mo, I'll let you come in on it because Dan obviously says he wants to give Ten Hag 12 months with the new structure in place.
What?
Again, you're
he's twisting your words there. He's twisting your words.
What? Did you not
He
just say
must
that?
be.
I said, given what is out there and available, then yeah, sometimes it's better the devil you know. I don't want Southgate and I don't want Potter.
No,
what I'm saying is, we cannot go out there and get these managers. We cannot go out there and attract these managers at the moment. So it's a case of
you don't want England's most successful manager for the past, since '66. You don't want a guy who's fantastic with young players, great man manager.
I can just see Southgate in that real, that three-piece suit stood on the side.
Yeah, with the little badge on the
little badge
as well.
Getting pissed on with rain because there's
a man.
Liverpool and City. Moyes back, man. Get David Moyes back.
Okay, here's my take about Ten Hag, right? He's turning into an idiot, stupid, as a person, not as a coach, right?
Wow.
The reason why. The reason
I don't take it personal.
It's not personal. There's nothing. I'm not cutting them. It's not. And by the way, it's not personal against Ten Hag. I don't know the guy. I never met the person. But what I'm seeing, but you have to accept something. He's a public figure, isn't he? Like we are for some people. We sit here in front of 300 people, 10 people. It doesn't matter. You're responsible about what you say. Am I wrong here? I'm responsible. If I sit here on Dan Potts' channel and I say idiotic stuff, I get upset if people call me an idiot. It's up to them, right? I am treating this guy as a coach of one of the biggest clubs in the world, right? He has one of the most lucrative jobs around in sports, right? And every time I'm hearing the guy speaks, he comes up with stupid statements. We should have won the game. This guy doesn't do this. By the way, this should have done that. It's not me. It's this guy. As I'm listening to a 10 years old trying to just speak out of his ass. It's as simple as that. This guy, when Man United hired him, they don't hire a tactician. You hire a leader, a manager. And I said that on Saeed's channel before Dan Potts joined. I said, when you given a job like this, you need to be able to relay a message. If this is the guy that deals with the media, can we really look at this guy and knows and think that this guy can relay a message to his players? Absolutely not. I don't care if you don't agree with Jurgen Klopp, you disagree with Arteta, you disagree with Pep, but you watch these guys, they are trained, they know what to say, and they say everything knowing the impact. I think this guy doesn't know what he's saying. He just says stuff like this. This is one of the guys, and I'm not going to get politics here, it's Dan's channel. You know, when some presidents and some CEOs, they need a script to read from. Man United, at this point, Sir Jim Ratcliffe should give this guy a script. Do not ever go out of the script, bro. You're making us all look terrible. You're saying stupid stuff. That's the problem, Dan. The problem isn't his tactical or coaching, whatever. No, this guy should not be the face of Man United for the next 12 months.
I take your point, but look. Okay, who joins Zembo? Who joins?
It doesn't matter.
Well, no, but who joins? Who joins?
I know just the guy.
Because you're talking like this. Okay, let's bring Southgate in, and he'll stand there and say sunshines and lollipops. Everything's amazing, and he will do fuck all with our team. So
he's better than Ten Hag at the current moment.
God, he got relegated with fucking Middlesbrough, man.
I actually think he should go and try with De Zerbi. Give him a shot.
No, don't want him.
He definitely has a style of play, and he will build this culture in the club. He's a very number one, De Zerbi, based on everything I heard from players, and the Kevin Prince Boateng and players that were coached under him in Italy. They're saying he's a very strict manager. With a strict culture, very strict guy, right? And has a certain culture that he embeds. He might not win you the trophies then. You might go after 2 years and say, sack this guy, he hasn't won us a trophy. But I guarantee you, when he leaves, your assets, which is your players, their value go up, right?
So 2 years without
you have a culture. Okay, go ahead.
2 years without a trophy, where does that leave us? Where does that leave us?
It leaves you in a place for the... I'm going to ask you a simple question. Do you believe if Arteta leaves Arsenal tomorrow after the season, he hasn't won a major trophy? Forget the FA Cup he won. You cannot live in an FA Cup for 4 years. Do you believe he left them in a better place from when he joined? Do you think he left the club in a place where another manager can come in and build on what he did and win them something or take them to a better place.
Yeah,
after
yeah,
4 years.
I do.
That's what I believe De Zerbi can do. If it doesn't work, by the way, if Arteta doesn't win the league this season or next season, a lot of Arsenal fans will say, you haven't won a trophy. What have you achieved? I can tell you what he achieved. He built a squad that is ready for a better manager than him to win with the squad with small signings or some inclusions, right? That's what he did. He built a culture in the club where we aren't hearing in the media about an Arsenal player, right, complaining about his manager. That's my point, Dan. That's my point.
What you're saying, and you know, on paper, yeah, that's fantastic. But what if De Zerbi comes in and doesn't do that? What if De Zerbi comes in and doesn't change the culture? What if De Zerbi comes in and the players swallow him up and the club swallows him up? And then we start, and then it's another couple of years. Wait, we don't know what will happen.
100%, you're right. 100%. However, my response to that, just let me respond to that. My response to that is that what we do normally is we look at the history of someone or a club or whatever. We look at the events and we try to predict the future, not try to predict opposite to what happened. This guy builds stuff. When he did it at Sassuolo, and I think when he did it in Ukraine, and when he did it at Brighton. My point about this is that I look at the history of this guy and I expect the same outcome. If it doesn't happen, that's the outlier, not the other way around.
Brighton fans, Mo, who will say they want De Zerbi out.
And I was about to say,
exactly that, I know a lot of Brighton fans.
Exactly that, Emilio. Exactly.
I don't want him at Fulham. You know, we're level pegging with. Why don't we talk about Marco Silva? Because, you know, I'm glad he's not in the spotlight. He's getting on with business, low investment, aging squad. He's done fucking well, excuse my French, at a small club like Fulham. De Zerbi, great last season. You know, where's he this season?
Off the back of Potter's team, by the way, as well.
Yeah, exactly. I think
he's completely different.
Too volatile.
Emilio, I'm gonna just tell you one thing about the culture at Brighton. There is no coach in world football, right, that rotates goalkeeper every game, and he rotates good players out of the team to play the other players. That Brighton, the board.
Where are they in the division?
Yeah, but here's the point. The board are asking him. Okay, Dan. There is very simple answer. The board are asking him not to play his best team. The board are asking him to rotate so they can sell.
The board are asking him to play 32-year-old Jason Steele.
I can't agree. No.
Why would he rotate?
Mo's got an obsession with Zerbi. That's
guys,
can I just
why would he rotate?
Because he's mental. Because he's mental. Because he thinks he's one of these new revolutionary managers, and this is his way into football.
Okay, if the conclusion here that De Zerbi is crazy, I can't argue that back. That means he needs to be in a mental institute. I can't argue that.
Let Martin come in.
Here's my thing. If you don't set Ten Hag, all you're doing is kicking the can down the road because he's getting the boot some point. He's getting the boot. If you are keeping him for next season on the belief we'll get Alonso the season after.
Don't believe that at all. Don't believe that at all, Martin.
Then who is the guy you're waiting for?
I don't know, Martin, because at the moment, I agree, but at the moment, I don't see who is out there anyway at the moment. Yeah, we say Hansi Flick.
De Zerbi is better than Ten Hag because I'm not being winning. De Zerbi is closer to the Man United way of football than Ten Hag is.
What's the Manchester United way of football, Martin? Because we haven't done it for 10 years.
Play football. Don't do
10 years. And I'm sorry, but we've tried this with managers, though, Martin. Martin, we tried this with managers. We brought in Van Gaal to do this. We brought in Jose to do this. Ralph come in to try and study it.
You changed the board
it's
now.
Not worked. There's more to do than that. There's more.
The board you've got, trust me, because two of your board members, we had.
Yeah, I know. And we're very thankful. Thank you.
He ain't going to deal, excuse my French, with the shit that Ten Hag's putting up with. He'll be out halfway through.
And I agree. And if that's the case, mate, I back what they do 100%. I back what they do 100%. But I cannot sit here and take Southgate or Potter at my club because we will be in the same.
I agree. Listen. As a City fan, I'd love to get Southgate. It'd be hilarious. And that's, all banter aside. I don't get this because, to be honest with you, I've said this. No one gets De Zerbi. Suits me fine because when Pep leaves, I think City will look at him because he suits our style of play, the way he plays. You look at the way because Against us, he played out from the back. Well, that's the City way of doing it. It depends what you're after, because there is not the same with players on the market. If I'm going to be totally honest, this summer, there's not a glut of managers out there.
I agree, and that's and Martin, that's my thinking, mate. That is exactly where I'm at.
I agree, but I just think De Zerbi would be a better fit than all Ten Hag is poison right now. He's lost the plot. He's honestly lost the plot now, because he is sitting there. He's talking about being better than City at a title, and it's like, what are you talking about? Get back in your box and go. He needs to go and have honestly, my best I've seen is the United team to get older, probably like yourself, Dan, who goes. And I'm telling you now, he said it's the worst he's seen. He said he'd have had Solskjaer back over this guy. This guy is losing the plot. He's losing the plot.
And
the scary thing is,
Amorim is the best appointment for United.
I don't know.
Yeah, he said he's staying at Sporting.
That's a no-go. He wants to win the league next season.
He's just trying to get back on side with the Sporting fans after pissing them all off by going.
He wouldn't be allowed to go back there, mate, if he said all this and then decided in the summer he was off.
Exactly.
I don't think it matters much. That the expectation at that club is that he's going to go this summer anyway. Like that was what the expectation was. The issue he ran into was he'd done all this and the season hadn't ended, and that was bad PR. I still expect him to move on this summer, and ultimately, United are in a situation where you hire a win now manager because your squad's not win now, and it's not going to be win now after one transfer window. So hiring a win now manager is ultimately pointless. You need to hire a guy with a project that is in line with what the new board wants to do, and a guy you can back for 3 to 5 years.
Tom, and I'll tell you why I slightly disagree with that. Right, you're absolutely bang on. This is not a win now squad. I don't know what it is. Right, Man United, they've got to get rid of about.
It's not a squad. It's a shame to call it a squad anyway.
Yeah, they've got to get rid of 85% of their staffing team. Right, they know that. Dan knows that as well. Right, but what I would say, Manchester United spend more money than anybody. Right. It's not about them not spending money.
Put Chelsea in there, mate. Come on, man.
Right, okay. Well, Chelsea as well, right? So Manchester United spend a lot of money, I'll say. But look at what they've spent it on. If these guys coming in are as good as what Martin's saying, as good as what Man United fans are hoping they're going to be, they can get this right in 2 seasons. Now, I agree with you, Tom. They're not going to win anything this season. Like, boom, one window. They can get this right because they spend an amazing amount of money, right? So they can get 6 or 7 players in the next few windows, 6 or 7 players in the next couple of windows after that. 2 seasons, they've got a squad of 12 to 15 players that are looking very, very different to Manchester United's side now. So I think somebody like Hansi Flick, give him 2 years, 18 months and say, look, your CV is incredible.
This is
what I'm going to be doing. Deserve it. Okay, he might not come, but this is the thing. They've got to try and appoint someone, Dan. Everybody is not coming.
I get it, Potts. I get it, but we're wasting our breath talking about the Hansi Flicks coming in. It's not going to happen.
No, but it is different now, Dan, because trust me now, as Tom alluded to earlier on, Omar Barada will choose your signings.
Yeah, no, I agree, Martin, I agree.
Ten Hag came in, and I said, do you know what he's going to do? He'll rinse it, because I've seen it 1,000 times. He'll go straight to Ajax and he'll cherry pick the 4 to 5 hours.
100%.
Because he doesn't know what to do. That's what managers, when they go in the unknown, do. Because at Ajax, he was built on bringing in the youth Ajax system, bringing in the kids, blah, blah, blah.
Cherry picking all of the, yeah.
And then he's gone to United as his first proper, let's get out of the Dutch league, and then gone, all right, I'm going to make the Ajax version 2. And you went and spent stupid. So you went from Instagram FC to becoming Ajax becoming your basic, your nursery club. Which is why you went and went silly money. Anthony's not a United player.
No, he's not a Premier League player, Martin. He's not a Championship player.
Sancho was not a United player ready, because to me, United need to go back to basics. Back to basics. Now you're doing it from board level down now. Right, we can start again. But I just think with the right manager who won't have the control, won't be like a kid in a sweet shop, because I think that, like Tom said, he'll be called a coach. I think the term manager is going to be drafted.
Martin, do you think that's the issue? Do you think, and I have said this, do you think Ten Hag's come in to do this all on his own, to go, right, I'm going to take control of this.
Yeah,
this,
he's been allowed to, though.
And
He's been
I
allowed
agree.
to do
I
that.
agree. Under the old regime, I get this, and this is what I was leaning on to. I'm happy for him to stay, but he has to be nowhere near the transfers this season. And if he can't get, if he can't get behind the fact that he is no longer part of that transfer system, well, then yeah, he goes. He does go because
he's made his position untenable low now. Erik ten Hag has done too much damage to his reputation at United, and
you say that, Tom. You say that, Tom. But how many United fans do you hear booing him at the bloody stadium? You hear nothing.
I think though, Ten Hag's lost confidence in himself, though, in terms of Ten Hag was brought in to play the Ajax style of football. Whatever anyone tries to say, United didn't sign Ten Hag to play counter-attack because Ajax didn't play counter-attack. United hired Ten Hag for him to play the football he was playing at Ajax. We're 2 years in, and we have not. It's not the fact that his team can't do it; it's the fact that he won't do it because he believes his team can't do it. Now, I don't see him next summer because I don't believe that this new ownership are going to make 7, 8, 9 signings to fully revamp the squad. I believe that it'll be a gradual 4 or 5 year process, and there will be some duds in there from time to time. Within the next 12 months, I don't see United squad getting into a position where it can play the United style of football, and Ten Hag can't coach counter-attacking football well enough. Therefore, Tom, the position is untenable.
You say that United aren't going to go out there and sign 6, 7 players. They're going to have to, mate, because Varane's out of contract. Casemiro is a Sunday League footballer. Evans should never have played the football he's played. Mm-hmm. We've needed a left back for a long time. Amrabat goes back, okay? Martial goes. So he's not been there all season, let's be honest. Straight away, that's 6 players straight away off the top of my head that they're going to have to replace. They're going to have to replace. Now, the one positive, like I keep saying about that, is with FFP or whatever you want to call it, they change it every week. There are a lot of players leaving on big wages, which means it does free up a lot, which means hopefully with the likes of Barada, Wilcox, Ashworth when he comes, there is going to be movement for them to go out there and look. I mean, this talk about the whole pay up for Ashworth, I'd have paid that yesterday. I don't care what anyone says. You bring this guy in to stop us making the signings that we've done before. You bring this guy in to go out there.
He's already working. He's already.
Of course he is. He's got the burner phone online. He's got the cheap Tesco. He's got the cheap Tesco mobile phone you get at the checkout.
He's not sat there going, "Oh, he's already working." Listen, it said to me when Wilcox. I know it was an old statement. Come out with that. For some reason, it's like these old things. They all come out a month later, don't they? But Wilcox come out of that thing. We want to see the last few games of possession football.
Yeah.
What they're trying to do is Wilcox and Barada are not stupid. They know about the United way. They know about the style of football and what they want. United and the board will give everyone all the time in the world. But when you start going and pushing back and doing, it's like go back to Ralph Rangnick. You hired Ralph Rangnick to be an advisor. He tells you what is wrong from top to bottom. Because it's going to cost 3 or 4, 500 million quid, they sacked him and told him, "See you, get out the door." So it's until United are willing to face the truth and accept from home truths.
Yeah,
you're never going to move.
I agree. And I will say this: look, I'm not saying if Hansi Flick or someone like that goes, "Do you know what? Yeah, I want to do the United thing." Well, if someone like that becomes available, then yeah, of course, Ten Hag out you go. But I'm not going to sit here and accept Potter and
I get what you mean. To me, it's not just a Hansi Flick will not change it.
But no, I agree. I understand.
Then can I present to you a scenario then? Okay.
As long as it means us actually winning a game of football, Mo, you can present what you want.
No, just a simple scenario then.
Good luck at Wembley.
Do you believe you're an attractive club now? Can you attract top name? Do you think a top player would choose you over Arsenal, for example?
Well, yeah, because of this. But that's why we're trying to change the process in the background because that's
so you are trying to change the money.
Well. The name as well is still there, man.
Yeah.
When people say Manchester United,
players still go to Barcelona.
But I believe the reason why they aren't going for the top names is that the top names are saying no to them. They are saying we want to wait and see what happens.
Saying no?
Top names. No? Like I believe if they go to a top manager, they would say no. I don't know.
Oh, sorry, to mean managers. Sorry, I thought you meant players. Sorry.
No,
manager, and also, by the way, and also players. I believe if a player has a choice now to go to Man United or somewhere else, they would choose somewhere else before you. while that didn't happen before. Like the era of signing the
Do you think they
Pogba.
choose Chelsea over Man United, Mo?
Yes.
Why?
Yeah,
No,
100%.
that's the one.
Because
Question.
the
That's the
club,
one.
on that,
whatever you want
to explain to me.
go ahead.
They still
Go
got
ahead. I can explain it. The
No,
reason why
if Barcelona are broke and can't win a raffle and plays are still, Bernardo Silva is packing his bags and literally wanting to swim to Barcelona. Tell me why, if the name doesn't count for out.
it does, but Barcelona. But let me tell you the difference between Barcelona and Man United. Barcelona bad is still making a quarterfinal Champions League or round of 16, coming second in the league. Barcelona bad is winning La Liga last season with Xavi, who came from Qatar. That's Barcelona's bad, by the way, right? Barcelona's bad is winning Copa del Rey. Barcelona's bad is different. The Man United bad. My point about this is that even though Man United still have the name, I think keeping Ten Hag and having another shambolic season like this, the stock go down in terms of attractiveness. It keeps going down and down. It keeps going backwards. That's my problem. If you get a Southgate or a Graham Potter and it doesn't work, well, you're trying. I think the more you keep Ten Hag in this job, the worse it's getting. It's getting in terms of a culture, toxicity, and everything. There is very little evidence for us to sit here and say Erik Ten Hag will turn it around. Very little evidence.
Isn't this the reason we're bringing who we're bringing in? So we don't necessarily go for these players and try and pay whatever they want to come to this club. This is the whole.
So Ten Hag is not the right guy then. So why is Ten Hag the right guy?
I'm not saying.
What has he shown you?
No, you're not listening to me. I've just said if we have a more attractive manager that is available, yes, bring them in. I'll pay the airfare. Bring them in. But Graham Potter and Southgate is not the answer. You're bringing them in because you know they're going to fail mode. You've just sat here and said, bring De Zerbi in. After 2 years, if he doesn't win anything, I guarantee the club culture will be better. Is De Zerbi a better manager than Potter and Southgate?
Yes.
So what are we doing here?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Bring De Zerbi in, give him 5 years at the new board.
It doesn't work, mine. It doesn't work like anymore, does it, mate? No one gets that time anymore.
I think that's the problem, though.
Yeah, I agree.
You look at the two most successful teams in the last 10 years have had the two longest serving managers. Coincidence?
It takes time to build something now because football doesn't stand still. The part that always gets me when people start these debates and go, it'll only take such and such X amount of years. But Arsenal are going to continue to do what they're doing, and they might change and go for more ready-made players. They take bigger leaps. City are going to continue what they're doing, but they're probably due one of them summers of 2017 where they just go and spend 250 million on 6 top players, and all of a sudden all the holes in that squad that were there and were coming in the next 3 years solved already. Us might continue on that path and keep improving. Chelsea might keep improving. Tottenham might keep improving. Football doesn't stop still. So when people say it'll take 2 years, I go it takes 3, 4, because there's going to be mistakes that are made, especially with my thing with United is this new ownership coming in to Jim, especially in his team. They're not used to shopping top-end market for players. I would be very intrigued to see if he wants to continue that model at United, considering the varying degrees of success it's had, or if he wants to bring United to a level of more effectively what Liverpool have been when they were successful, which is shopping for 30 to 40 million pound players, or what Nice are trying to do now, but to a slightly higher level than that, rather than keep splashing out 60, 70, 80, whether he wants to try and buy young with potential to build at United and turn United from this, for the short term anyway, from this behemoth of football that is a winning institution to a bit of a young hub for these talented players to go through, spend a couple of years developing them, maybe move a couple on and rebuild stature in that way and rebuild the club identity in that way. Because I think United now have a stigma around them about what the club is. And I think that it needs a full systematic refresh to change that stigma. And next summer's a really interesting one to watch.
Tom, make no mistake. This isn't just going at the manager. This new change in the background will be at the players as well. This will be felt by the players as well. This is a whole club situation. We've already seen Sir Jim with the staff at Manchester United. We've just got to give it time. We've just got, and I know it's a stupid thing to say, but we have to. Simple as that.
Do you know what? The thing I'll say on this is, I think Arsenal are the perfect example here. They've been very, because listen, there's been a lot of Arsenal fans, as you know, Dan, who wanted Arteta out a long time ago.
What was his first three positions in his when he was there?
Well, exactly. It's about, listen, he missed out on the top four. When you lost it, was it you didn't? When you lost, was it Newcastle? You lost
Newcastle,
that? Yeah. And it was right out, and then it was no, right. He's earned his stripes, won the FA Cup. Let's give him a bit more money. Got some plays out, bit more money the year after. Then he went to the Declan. You know, we're challenging. Then, and that's what it is. The worst. It's and maybe it's because I've seen it and been there. Is the worst thing you can do is just sat. The only reason I'm saying about Ten Hag is because I know that's where it's going to lead in the end. I know we're leading to his P45. There is no way back for Ten Hag. So what you're doing is you're keeping him in because there is nobody else. But if you get a deserver, you give him the 10 years. United have to come away from all titles. They have to come away from where you've got the history and you've got everything else. Brilliant. Just build it again. You've got to, when the foundations are rotten to the core, you knock it down and you go again.
We've done that 5 times, Mark.
I think this time though they will. I think this time they are going to do it again, and they're going to have to do it properly. And the right people are saying they're the Ashworths, the Wilcox, Berardi, all those guys.
Yeah,
are going to have to get it right.
That's the knocking it down and going again part.
Exactly. That's why they've got to do it. They've got to do it again. To be fair, man. And you know, like I've got to accept that. Let's go to this weekend, man. Because we haven't spoken about Arsenal at all yet. I've got to say, Dan, you know me. I'm not normally one to sit there and get cocky and start giving it, but I am very confident on Sunday.
You should be.
I think I'm being real there. I don't think I'm going to sit there and go, 1-1, maybe nick it 2-1. No, I think we can really hurt Manchester United at the moment because I've seen what Palace did. I don't think the team's going to be too dissimilar. I think it's an 11 that is going to struggle in midfield and at centre back. And I think that Arsenal defensively are very good. And I think that if we take the chances that Liverpool didn't take, that they created against you, I think it could be a real heavy defeat here. And I do believe that it's not going to be a 6-1 or an 8-2 like we got done. But I think we've got an opportunity to try and do as close as we can to that. Now, I've actually gone for a 4-0 Arsenal win. I'm going to stand by it. I do feel like I can put my chest out and say that we can comfortably win this game. I'm not going to do what Liverpool did and go, I don't know, because that just then made them draw the game. I think personally we can really hurt Manchester United, and I want to get before you come in, Dan. I want to get the other panels kind of predictions about what they think is going to happen. So, Mo, I'll come to you first, bro.
3-0. It's 3-0 Arsenal. Man United are going to get destroyed this game. They're going to get destroyed, and this kid Kobe Mainoo again is going to live that. He's going to live that evil again of having Casemiro and Eriksen around him and nobody that wants to work for him. The kid has to leave Manchester United, bro. I'm going to say this again, another game when Kobe Mainoo tries so hard to play good football and nobody around him is playing for the manager or playing for the badge or anything. Diego Dalot tries, to be honest. This should be on paper very easy for Arsenal. Very simple. Do you know why? Because Ten Hag still has pride and he's not going to sit deep. He's going to try to press. He's not going to, from the first minute, he's not going to sit deep and does what normal people, regular people would do against Arsenal and sit deep and try to end the count. He's going to try to a little bit have especially if Bruno's fit. I don't know if Bruno's fit or not.
I think he's fit for it.
If Bruno and Rashford are fit, he's going to try to play a little bit higher, maybe try to prevent Arsenal from getting on the ball. Thomas Partey and Declan Rice bypass the press easy, and it's going to be 3-on-3 all the time or 4-on-4. You should destroy them. If he sit back and did what he did for Liverpool, you might struggle a little bit. And the more the time goes, the more you might actually be a little bit nervous. But I think he's not. I don't think he's going to sit back. He's going to try to play at the beginning at Old Trafford toe-to-toe. He did this with City. He tried in the first 10, 15 minutes to play toe-to-toe. He tried to press a little bit.
No,
And
he played long ball.
in the first 10, 15 minutes, he didn't sit back. He played a little bit compact, but he pushed the line a little up. And then when the game went, against Liverpool, the same. The game went by and he sat back a little bit. I think Arsenal has to punish them. If you get the first goal in the first,
I agree. I think if we get an early first goal, I think we can hurt them. I think
it will be a battering.
I'm different. Sorry, and I'm not actually trolling it because I know you're going to think I'm trolling. I'm not. I don't think United will win, but I wouldn't be honestly shocked if they got a draw.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree.
I wouldn't actually be majorly shocked, and that's not a dig at. It's what you know. I said to you earlier on, United are this really weird team at the minute.
Unpredictable.
Yeah, Martin, Man City. If you were playing them, would you have said the same?
I always say that about Derby.
Okay.
Derby's unpredictable, Mo.
Okay.
It's a Derby with us, so it goes out the frigging window all form with Derbies, as Tom knows.
Okay.
That's not a dig, Tom.
Fair enough. That
was cruel, man. That was cruel.
I'll give you that one.
It was a little dig. No, but United are a very weird team. Dan, you know this. 1 minute you can be crap for 3 games, and then it's like it's the last home game, isn't it? Oh no, we got
Newcastle as well. Newcastle.
United. It depends what United have to do. United have to win to get into Europe. It's whether they want to be in Europe. Because with the new FFP rules,
I think he's banking on the FA Cup, Martin. That's how stupid I think he's banking on that.
When I said it's
all right, he can bank up. Listen, again, it's a derby, so I don't know what the thing's going to happen. Because they're all going to turn.
We're gonna get to 40 seconds this time, mate. We're gonna get to 40 seconds.
No, they're all turning up 40,000 dirty cheating bastard t-shirts, but we're joining them.
Let me ask you mine, right? Because I know. Let me ask you quickly before we close. 2 things. What do you think the score is going to be? Is obviously 1, and then I don't want you to sit here and start bigging up my football team here by any means, right? But what have you made this season of the race with us? Because you've seen it now for a couple of years. Have you got a bit more respect for us, I suppose, is what I'm kind of getting at. But have you ever felt like, wow?
Arsenal have been fantastic. They've been fantastic. Don't agree with most. They've been the far superior team and all that.
I never said far. I said they have been the best team in the league.
No, listen, the trouble is, I will give praise. The trouble is, where I push back is, did with Mo earlier on his show, is 1 minute that you've got the best defense, best midfield, and then the week when you lose or you drop points, we can't beat City, they're too inevitable.
Yeah, that's the fan base for you, man.
Exactly, and that's the problem. But Arsenal have been fantastic. They really have. They've been a joy to watch, and it's been very similar to the Liverpool race. A little bit different, but it has been very similar. The difference is, but what you'll gain out of this, Dan, is an experience. You will gain, but whether or not you win or you lose it, you'll gain an experience of what you need. Because eventually Liverpool got over the line with it. You will get there, 100%. And you may get there this year, and if you do, good luck. But to me, I just see City winning all again.
It's the friends you make along the journey that matter.
Yeah.
Just imagine, Martin, this weekend you draw against Fulham and then Arsenal go and draw against United.
Yeah.
Oh,
I would call them the biggest, but I will absolutely spend the whole summer doing shows every day, just one title. Bottlers.
It will be.
I will dedicate an hour from my channel daily for that.
The biggest respect I give Arsenal, and this is fact. I said this last night on my own show. If City don't win the league from here, I can't say Arsenal are bottlers and the year that if we do the same, we're not bottlers. It's in our hands. I will say it. We will have bottled it.
Fair play, man. That's fair.
Yeah, and I can't deny that because we have. Your 3 wins. I expect City to listen. We're going to beat West Ham on the last home game. I don't throw gimmies. We're going to beat West Ham. It's down to. I still say it is this weekend is the penultimate weekend.
Yeah, I agree. With
this is the weekend, and the fact we play first puts pressure on you lot.
Yeah.
And pressure does silly things. You should go to United and smash them 8-0. 1,000%. but that pressure changes. You saw it yourself. You were in the stadium, I think, celebrating when Liverpool got beat by Palace.
Yep.
You didn't do your own job 90 minutes later.
That will be the killer. That will be the one that we look back
I mean,
at.
are we all ready for the world where Arsenal and City all lose their games and all of a sudden we're back in the title race last day of the season?
Can you imagine?
Tom, I don't want to be in that world.
You know what makes me laugh? They were bigging up the League Cup for 3 months. They're not even parading it anymore. It means now fall now. Forget it. Klopp's kids are back in nursery. The League Cup's now a tin pot trophy again.
No, it's not. Definitely not, Martin. Prestigious cup, that is.
Stop saying
just because you haven't won it for years now, mate. Just because Pep can't handle Southampton away now.
You're going to win a quad. Every time your lot say you're going to win a quad, you drop. Stop trying to win quads. Not for everyone.
Stop trying to win quads.
Listen, it's been a great show, man. I've loved it. Tom, just quickly, what are you saying for Arsenal United, bro?
Arsenal are better than Liverpool, so Arsenal won't make the same mistakes Liverpool made. Therefore, it should be a 4-5.
I'm loving it because you're all going to be. Oof.
Martin thinks he's going to draw.
I've moved my post match to Sunday night.
How is Martin?
I want to go.
How's Martin a City fan? Building me with hope, you twat.
No,
Can I ask you something, Dan, quickly?
After this.
Dan, can I ask you something quickly, Dan?
Which Dan?
If Man City drop points, United then.
Okay.
If Man City drop points against Fulham, would you accept your team rolling over to Arsenal like Spurs want to roll over for Man City?
Good question. Go on,
start. He's honest because I know the actual answer to a lot of United fans on this. So I want to say he's honest.
Would you rather City do a 4-peat?
Yeah,
something that we'll never see ever in our life.
I don't want City to break that record. I don't. No, I don't.
Okay, so you would accept your team rolling over to Arsenal? It's fine.
It's not even rolling over, Judge Mo. We're not going to fucking roll.
They don't need to roll over.
You're talking like this is, like we're like, we're shit. We're not. There's no rolling over.
This way. It's not just the 4-peat. It's beating Fergie's situation. That's the bit that they're hating. Do something Fergie never did. That's the bit that would destroy him. And then they come out with 1-1-5 and you dirty cheating bastards.
Martin, I've been one that Potts will attest. I've said nothing on this because I want to see how it plays. I don't want to be that United fan going and then it be found, you're not guilty, and me go
But you're convinced.
Are you based in Manchester?
Sorry.
Are you based in Manchester?
No, I'm in Shropshire, mate. Shropshire, right. Not far.
Because I'm only asking because if he's saying that, he might have read a lot of the local stuff.
We're not going into that 1-1-5 today.
No rival fan should be pinning their hopes on this 1-1-5 stuff coming in. I mean, I've only prepared for 3 parades and got all my shirts back from those days and got me inflatable Premier League trophies ready for it because it's not going to happen, is it? Like, it's not something that's worth getting into, and ultimately, it's not going to discredit what the players achieved on the pitch. The 115 charges didn't score at the back post against Aston Villa to make it 3-2.
Right.
Have you not heard that one today, Tom?
I actually always defended City. They won it on the pitch.
He did, and he made a point of leaving me a voice message about that earlier. No, I'll tell you a little joke. No, it's a joke, but it's true. Read this earlier. United's training has been delayed for 2 hours today because they found a line of white powder. Turned out to be the goal line. United players didn't know what it was.
There it is.
Oh, Martin. You're old
now. I don't feel like I need a shower as much now. Big joke.
Listen, there is always Manchester United managers lined up, and there is a solution, of course.
Give it Giggsy to the end of the season.
You see Greenwood and Anthony back in the squad,
that is the solution.
Greenwood and Anthony would be straight back in that squad. He knows a bloody manager, wouldn't he?
No, you need Stephen Howson's about Pep.
What? Go on.
Talking about us being Celtic.
What?
Dan knows what I mean. Dan's seen it. Might as well be Celtic.
Oh my word!
A United YouTuber said that came out when Pep got appointed, and he went, might as well be Celtic. And
wow.
Absolutely slated Pep and said he'd do now.
I bet that went viral. Listen, been an absolute pleasure, man. Absolute pleasure. Sorry we've overrun a bit, but it has been a great show. It's been an absolutely lit show as well. Big up to Emilio, who had to drop off earlier. I'm praying that his team can do something tomorrow. Please, Fulham. Please, Fulham. Please. Your last
May the best team win, Dan.
May the best team win indeed. Martin, big up yourself.
You mean Arsenal?
Make sure you do me a favor. Make sure you go follow Martin at the Mancunian Way. I expect to see the Mancunian Way subs go up by at least 100 overnight. So please make sure you're going over and following Martin.
We're only 200 away from 4K.
There we go.
Yes, sir.
Please, people, let's make sure that we do that, please. Likewise, let's get you over to Judge Mo as well. Footy Judge Mo has absolutely smashed it. Over 20k now. His next target is to 30. So let's make sure that we go and support the channel over at Footy Judge Mo. Great panelist, great content creator, and supports the channel as well. So please make sure you go support and show Mo some love. Dan United, make sure you go over to the United First. Make sure you're following on TikTok and look at the match reaction, which I'm sure will be very fun at the weekend. I pray. So make sure you go support Dan, and of course go make sure that you follow Tom Little. Tom Little's everywhere, man. You'll see Tom Little. Make sure you go follow him on socials. He's on many shows, many different shows that he shares platforms with. So make sure that you go do that as well. We'll see you next time. We're going to get out of here, people, and as always, up the Arsenal. Laters.